Hey, what's going on, achievers in the house? Adam Shelton here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my video today. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew when you start a business and you have a spouse, and how to balance out that time with your spouse. This is so important when you're starting a business or you have an existing business, because these are some things you need to know when you're starting a business, and these are things I did not understand when I started my online business journey. So you want to stay tuned to this entire video, because we're gonna have some fun and we're gonna get a little serious as well. So if this is your first time here at this channel, hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell when I do videos just like this. I do videos every single day, and I want you to be notified when I do videos just like this. Now you know what time it is, and it's time. Let's talk about this topic, 5 things I wish I knew when starting a business and how to balance that time with your spouse. Now, when I first started an online business, and I mentioned this before, I was so excited. I was watching every video I could find on YouTube. I was basically shiny object syndrome 0.10, actually 10x it at the time, because I definitely wanted that opportunity to make money from home, because I was really getting tired of just not having enough time to spend time with family, and I wanted to make extra money online. That's what my goal was, just getting more time and getting that extra money. So that was what I was doing, but I struggled mainly because, okay, what happens if I find a business that I wanted to do? How do I balance that with my spouse, right? Because I have a lovely wife, and she's very supportive, but she definitely still want my time as well. And these are the 5 things I wish I knew. I wish I would have known this. Things would have been much better in the beginning. Trust me. So the number one thing that I really wish I knew is that when you're starting a business, you need to start scheduling your daily method of operation immediately. You need to go ahead and say, I've got this much time in my business, this much time for myself, and this much time with your spouse or your kids at home. That's so important, because a lot of times what happens is we dive right into the business and you're still working at your job, and then that's it. You're not taking care of yourself, or you're not really paying attention to your spouse. And they'll let you know. My spouse will definitely let you know. I remember one time I was working in a room, and I didn't even come out there for at least 4 or 5 hours. I was just working in the business, watching videos, crafting up my skill sets, just learning skill sets. And I remember when I came out the door, she was standing right beside the door and said, we're supposed to go to the movies tonight. And I was like, I totally forgot about it. So definitely you want to schedule that time. When you spend time with your spouse, make sure that time is spent with her or him, or your kids as well. If your kids at home and you don't have a spouse and you have kids at home, make sure you make that time for them and your business. That's the number one thing I really wish I would have really known, because I knew, but it didn't calculate. I didn't understand it until it started to happen. So that's number 1, make that time. Number 2, what you want to be able to do is that, I really wish I knew. Let me go back. Number 2 thing, the 5 things I really wish I would have known when starting a business and you have a spouse at home, or you have or kids at home, is that you definitely want them to be involved on what you're doing. So you want to be able to talk about a little bit what they're doing. That way they a little bit understand what you're going through. So you want to communicate. That's what I'm trying to say. You want to communicate what you're going through. Now, you don't want to spend all day talking about it, because you're going to tire them out. They're going to get tired of you talking about the same stuff. They're not going to understand. They may not understand what you're going through and the language of your online business, or the language of your business you started. So you definitely want to keep them involved in terms of communicating and saying, okay, I'm about to do this, I'm doing that, I made this money, this much money, that kind of thing. So then that's a good part right there. That's a good part. So, but you want to keep them involved with what you're doing. So communication is so key. The first one, make sure you schedule time with them. The second thing I really wish I would have known is that you have to communicate in a different way. You have to at least give them, explaining to them what you're doing, and kind of like on a summary, making sure they understand what you're going through. That way they can start at least understanding and start supporting you when you're going ahead and building your dream, your $1 million online business. Absolutely. Why not $1 million? You know, why not? Because that's what it's all about. Building your business and building your legacy as soon as humanly possible. So number 3, the 5 things I really wish I knew when starting a business, and I got a spouse at home, kids at home. And number 3 thing is that one thing you have to do, this is the thing I learned. You may want to surprise them with things. And let me tell you this. So what I try to do is every once in a while, I try to surprise my wife with a gift or maybe a note, a love letter, a card, something that makes sure they feel special. Because you got to understand, a lot of your time is going to be divided up. And there's going to be times in your business that those hours is going to be more than normal. But you want to make sure your kids, your spouse at home, your girlfriend, make sure they still feel appreciated. So it's nothing wrong with sending flowers. Matter of fact, I got flowers right here. I got flowers right here. I just want to show you right on camera. So just wanted to show you that flowers is right over there that I bought for her a couple of days ago. And just to make sure she feel appreciative. And it doesn't have to be flowers, guys. It could be a letter. It could be a card. It could be making dinner. It could be surprising him or her and your kids on their favorite birthday cake or something, or favorite cake, I should say. Anything that you can, making sure they feel special. Make sure they still include in your life, because sometimes they can feel neglected. They can be like, okay, he's working my business. He is making time for me, but I still don't feel like he's or she is really involved with what I'm doing. So sometimes you got to do is spend that extra time and maybe surprise her with something, surprise him with something, surprise your kids with something to make sure they feel included. Because when you're building a $1 million business, your online business, you do need time and focus on that, but make sure those people around you, make sure they still feel included as well, because you're going to go much farther when you have some support, you know, in your household. I should say in your household, because you can always find support online through Facebook groups, YouTube groups as well. So you may have that covered, but the people you're living around, you want to make sure they are, you're communicating with them, right? Making sure they understand what you're going through. So that's number 3. Make sure they feel a little bit important in your life. So that's number 3. And that's something I really wish I would have known, because that would have helped out a lot. If I would have thought more about that than normal, I'd be like, man, that could have saved on some time, really. And, you know, explaining yourself, well, I got to do this and do that. Just make sure you make that time to do that. Okay, the number 4 thing, the 5 things I wish I knew when starting a business or online business or any type of business, really, when you got a household in your house and you got spouses and kids at home. The 4th thing I really wish I would have known is that you do need to spend time with yourself. I know that may be a little different here, because I know when I didn't spend enough time with myself, then what happens is this is what happens. When you're not spending a little bit more time on yourself, what I mean by that, that's basically just turning things off, turning the computer off, you know, maybe sleeping a little bit more, maybe reading books a little bit more, you know, kind of calming down. Because think about this, when you turn that switch off yourself, you're going to be better for your spouse and your business. So when you're having that time to just relax, take a walk on the beach, you know, maybe go see a movie, something that relaxes you and kind of keep you centered more, then the time you do spend with your spouse, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, or your kids, you're a little bit more alert, a little bit more energized, so you're more centered. So when you are spending time with you, it doesn't come out like I'm just spending time with you because it's 5 o'clock, right? So, all right, we schedule time, but then you're not in it. So if you're spending a little bit more time on yourself, then that's going to give you the energy and inspiration for your business and your family. And this is something I struggled in the beginning, because I wasn't spending time with myself. I was trying to make sure I spend time with her, and I was trying to make sure I spend time with my business, but I was forgetting myself. I wasn't going to the gym like I used to. I wasn't going to sleep as early as I used to. And I started breaking down a little bit. So when I start spending time with my wife, I wasn't involved in that. My mind, my body wasn't involved in it, because I wasn't spending time with myself. So that would affect your business and your personal life. Trust me. Take that hour a day, 2 hours, whatever that is, to make sure you're taking care of yourself. You Like today, I went to the spa and got a facial, so I feel energetic and excited. Just little things like that for yourself, that's going to go a long way in your business and your personal life. So number 5 thing, I really wish I would have known, this one, when starting a business and you got spouses at home, you got kids at home, the 5th thing is you want to make sure, I'm just laughing at this one. You want to make sure that you still have your goal in place in terms of this, whatever goals you guys are doing together. It goes along with communication, but make sure you guys still have goals y'all doing together. So let me make an example. If y'all got a goal to go to the vacation, you got a goals to go to the weekend, go to the movies over the weekend. Short goals and long-term goals. Make sure your spouse and your kids are really with those plans. So it could be a long-term goal. Okay, every November we go to Thanksgiving with our parents. Make sure you hit on those goals. So what I'm saying is make sure your goals, because you got your own goals in your business, right? You may have your own goals in your personal life. Make sure those goals, you have a goal or 2 that's with her or with those kids or with your kids. Make sure you have that. I did not do a very good job of that because I remember we had goals. We actually had a goal to go on a trip one time, and I forgot about the goal. I did because I started an online business, and I just forgot about it. And I remember when we were getting up to the time, I was like, we talked about that? And make sure your goals are online. They're on par with your support team at home, right? Or make sure you still have goals and things you're doing with her or with him. And I was forgetting about that. And that goes along with communication and scheduling. So the scheduling and communication was improving, but I started forgetting about goals that we wanted to do together. Short goals and long-term goals. So make sure those simple goals, and it could be a simple goal, make sure you guys do that, and then make sure you communicate and schedule that time as well. So those goals needs to be laid out with your spouse. Just make sure they're still involved in your life, right? So those are my 5 things I really wish I would have known when starting an online business when you have a spouse, girlfriend at home, kids at home, because you want to make sure they're still are included in yourself. They don't have to be included in your online business itself unless they want to be, unless it makes sense to that. But they got to make sure you're still there for them. And my bonus is here. My bonus, I know it's number 5, number 6, making sure you listen to what they're saying as well. Make sure you become a better listener. That's a little bonus for you. Make sure you become a better listener on what they got going on, because they may got stuff going on. Make sure you're taking the time to listen to what they're doing and then responding for you can help them if they have any issues or questions. So it's like you got to become even a better listener, because you only have so much time probably. So you probably want to make him or her do a lot of the talking. You just sit there and just take notes or take notes in your mind. So become a better listener, right? That's going to go a long way, because then that person can be like, oh, this person really cares. This person really cares about me. So those are my 5 things I really wish I knew when starting an online business. And if you don't have an online business yet and you have an existing business and you're not getting results you need, click on the link below this video. It's my number 1 recommendation of starting an online business and making money online. We have training there to help you every step of the way. When you click on that link, you add your email address. And after that, you'll watch a short video presentation and you go ahead and take action on those steps, and you'll be on your way to help you out. Because I understand when you're struggling online, and especially when you're balancing that with personal time, I got you covered there. So click on the link below to get started on your way to building an online business, $1 million business. Results are not typical, but it starts by taking action. How do you get $1 million? How do you get your first $1,000 sale? You go ahead and start taking action in those steps. So click on that link below this video, and I'll see you on the inside in the next video. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good day, Achievers.